In the next 7 lessons, you will learn about composition and layout. In any design you create, you are the composer of what goes where. It first starts as a blank slate, and it's up to you to determine how that page is going to be laid out. Just as a music composer uses notes and instruments to put together a song, you as the designer use typography, images, shapes, and color to compose a design. In order to get good at composing your designs, you are going to need to understand some key basics, which you can then use to make your designs even better. Each of these has their own lesson after this one, so we can go deeper into them and so you can practice and find examples of your own. Hierarchy, meaning drawing attention to what has the most importance on a page. When we look at this big green circle next to this little circle, we can see that using scale and color helps to make the green circle appear more important and makes you want to look at it before the little white circle. Or in this poster, where the J is clearly the most important element on the page. And then the next most important is Baskerville, followed by the other J, and then the group of text. It makes the reading simpler for the viewer rather than them having to guess what is first and second. The designer uses hierarchy to guide them. Balance. This consists of how elements are placed to complement each other, either in a symmetrical or asymmetrical way on a page. When two sides of a design are the same, that's said to be symmetrical, meaning having similar or exactly the same parts to the other side, which allows each side to balance the other. Or when two sides are not similar but still balance each other, that is called asymmetrical. In this ad for Sportive, the design is balanced with elements on the right being very similar to elements on the left, as opposed to this Young Hustlers ad, where elements on the left are very different from the elements on the right. However, they still complement each other nicely, even though it's not done identically. It uses asymmetrical balance to be pleasing to your eye. Alignment is to position objects or type in relation to each other with the goal to align them. This is best understood by looking at a blank design as having what is called a grid. While this grid is not printed, it is a useful tool while you're designing to line elements up to each other, as these two green objects are aligned on the left to each other. Another example is you can see in this magazine cover design. The type is all aligned on the left, which helps to give a clean look. White space is about the space without any elements in it. It is not always literally white, but could be black, white, or whatever color is around the design elements. This can be understood by looking at this design where you can see all spaces around the image and type is just as important and thought out as the image and typographical elements in the design itself. And you get this nice white space that looks like a light bulb. You don't need to fill every corner of a page for it to be good. Repetition. In any design, you want it to look cohesive and unified. This is done through repeating elements or patterns. You can see this example repeating shapes and colors. For a real design example, in this cookbook layout, every page has the same fonts, the same illustration styles, and general layout of how the recipes and ingredients are displayed. That helps to keep the reader knowing it's the same book and feel a sense of stability as well as knowing it's professional. Contrast is making something noticeably different from another through lighter and darker colors or through using size. It's about how readable a design is to make the viewer not have to strain and squint their eyes. The ultimate in contrast is black and white. Here is a design example of a brand that used bright yellow contrasted with black silhouettes and typography. In addition to these 6 fundamentals I just mentioned, we will be getting into typography, color, and images, each in their own sections. But for right now, you will be practicing the 6 key basics of composition and layout, mainly using black and white, followed by understanding grids and how they can help you in your layouts. That's how I learned to master the basics and how they teach at the top design schools. Once you understand the components that make up a good composition, you can then add in other elements such as color and type to make your compositions even better. So for these next 6 lessons, I will be having you do a lot of sketching in your sketchbook. You're not required to be a good artist in order to design. These sketches are for you to make simple, rough shapes and understand what a good layout is so that the concepts become intuitive to your design process and a part of your toolkit when you're getting into more advanced designs in the computer. Now, I recommend having a sketchbook with a grid or a dotted journal to help you execute the exercises easier. But any blank piece of paper will do. You are going to be using pencils, pens, and markers to do these exercises. I'm also going to have you do some exercises where you use magazines or printed images. And if you don't have anything handy, just draw elements to the best of your ability. Remember, this is not a drawing contest. This is about learning how to compose a good design. So your next step is to ensure you have all the materials needed. You can literally get started with a pen and a paper if that's all you have to hand. I don't want the materials to be a stopping point for you in this course at all. Make sure you download the PDF guide for this lesson, and then I'll see you in the next lesson where you will learn about the first key basic of a good composition, hierarchy. I'll see you there.